What's up, guys? Want to welcome you to episode 9674 B of the Trill Withers podcast. No. This is not the Trill Withers podcast, and I don't know why I thought I was Peter Jennings or somebody reporting on each segment. I'd like to thank you for watching the intro, the body of the show, and if you were rocking with the conclusion, please show your support by giving our conclusion 5 stars. No, I don't know what that was. But yeah, this is not the Trill Withers podcast. This is the Fun Report. I will be using this space to report once weekly on the status of my fun levels. This is going to be something a little different. We'll figure it out together. It's going to be probably more structured than Mixtape, but less structured than the old show, which the lowest bar in the world to clear, leaving myself a lot of wiggle room there. But today is August 1st, the year of our Lord 2020, and I am not having fun. No, I'm not having fun. And today I'm going to talk about some of the reason I'm not having fun. I'm not anticipating this is not like a slander session. This is not me dragging Barstool's name through the mud or anything, but I have seen a lot of assumptions on what happened, what went on, what's been going on, and I just wanted to tell my side of the timeline, just of what happened in order, so you know what I was thinking or feeling as everything. I feel like everything is a fair way to put that. So, going back, I got hired in 2016. This was the best job I have ever had. I was hired in as a social media analyst. It was myself. It was Coley running the main Twitter. We ended up getting more handling NBA stuff, NFL Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, different events like that. I remember the Twitter had, the main Barstool Twitter had 400,000 followers when I started in October 2016, if I'm not mistaken. And it had 2.4 million when I left. And part of growing that was I was given the freedom, the platform to explore, to take chances, to connect with people, to make funny content. And I'll always be grateful for that. I got to work from home. I got to travel on the company's dime. I got to talk to famous people and tweet about sporting events that I would probably be watching anyway. And I will always be thankful for that. But I got complacent. I can admit that. I'd like to hope that it didn't, affect my work. But I can admit that I got complacent because there was stuff going on, at the company. And it was things that I tried to change. And I did try. I didn't do enough because I was complacent. I had made it to the dream job of, just working from home, talking shit, watching sports, all that. And I was complacent. I was fine with that. I knew what Barstool was going in. I did not know the extent of it, how big it was. Everywhere. I was just new to it. And that's on me. I should have did more research there. It was a combination of, again, the company being fairly new to me, of me not doing the research I should have, and it also being much smaller than it is now. It's been really wild to see the growth, and I was a very, 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 very small part of that. But I was a part of it. And because I felt like I was a part of it, but a small part, it I feel like it kind of allowed me to really disassociate from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like if you were like in high school and a friend of yours, like his dad just had this house. Like the house is sick. The house is incredible. And it's like you go to the house and you can do whatever you want. And dad's hardly ever home. And you're having a blast. And it's like, yeah, no, invite more people to the house. More people can have fun. And it's like, all right, I'm having a blast. I am going to invite more people. And then when those other people show up, dad is in the living room with Professor Griff and Nick Cannon. And you're just like, oh no, dad. And your friends are looking at you like you're crazy. You're like, this is the house you wanted me to come hang out at? And I'm like, it's not always like this. And then dad goes back out of town. He's back on business. You got free reign again. And it's like, man, I wish I could show my friends this side of the house. You know what I'm saying? But every time I do, dad's on he's on the roof in his underwear, just yelling the hard F word for no real reason at all. And you're there for a while. It's like, boy, yeah, I really do wish I could show my friends a sick side. But then you look up, and it's like, I'm not in high school anymore. I'm not 16 anymore. I'm 21. I can get my own house. I throw my own parties. I needed this place at the time because at the time it was the only place I could do some of those things. But now I don't know if that's necessarily the case. So I don't know if that made any sense at all. I was trying to put it in somewhat relatable terms. I was like, people know what houses are. But yeah, like going backwards, I saw the N-word videos of Dave using the N-word the same week everybody else did. I believe it was the end of June. I'm trying to keep the chronological dates in order. But I swear I didn't know about it till then. I don't know if this will surprise people, but I don't watch the rundown. I just don't watch the rundown. And I think one of those times I was technically an employee there. One time I wasn't. But again, I didn't see the rundown. I don't watch the archived ones. And unless it's like something good happened that is pointed out to me, I don't watch them. This one didn't come up. No one ever pointed this one out to me until they pointed it out to everybody. So this was news to me. So at that time, I text Willie, and just about the videos, I was like, this is a lot. This is extreme. Like, something needs to be done. Like this isn't or shouldn't just go by the wayside. So Willie says he and I will talk soon. He talks to Dave and then comes back to me, asks about doing a joint show. I'm going to try to weave all this in together if it makes sense at all. At all. So we all do the show. It's myself, the two bigs, Brandon and Willie, who like, just to be fair to everybody involved, they named the podcast. Like, everybody has their own control over that. It'd be like the mixtape episodes, we name it whatever, the Fick Man or whatever. So the podcast chooses that, not the company. But it was myself, Brandon, Willie, Zal was there, Ebony was there, Liz, $20 Chef. I think that was it. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. And we do the show. I think it's a solid show. I really do. I thought we had good discourse in there. We chopped it up for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Like, I disagree with some things that I heard. I agree with some things I heard, and I'm sure the people there agree with some things I said, disagree with some of the things I said. I thought that was the point of it, to get everybody's viewpoint out on this. So I remember I was streaming that night. I was like, yeah, now we had a decent talk, man. Like I hope y'all, I hope y'all fuck with this. Little did I know, I see the title of the show, and I disagree with it. But Willie asked me to be on the show. I told him I would retweet it, and I told him I was willing to understand. Maybe I'm wrong about this, about how this will be seen. Like maybe I'm just incorrect. Maybe I'm too online, and he's right, and it'll do exactly what they're trying to accomplish. So I retweeted. Boom. Spoiler. I don't think it accomplished what it was trying to accomplish. I don't think it did. And I retweeted it. And that was on me for thinking that it might. It really was. It made people think that the company like made the name as that, or like made the employees participate, or is damage control. Again, it was nothing like that. We all chose to do it. Yeah, like you name your own episodes, and I did it because I thought it deserved to be talked about. So it was no damage control on my end, at least. So the title of the episode's out there, the skit's out there. I don't agree with it. It is what it is. I talked to Dave. Dave calls me, and we have a long talk. We agreed on some things. We disagreed on some things. And I came away from it thinking that going forward, he would go to bat for his black employees or women or whoever the minority or offended party was going forward. But not that he felt that he did anything wrong. Like he felt more so the timing was wrong and not that what he said was wrong. And I told him I disagree with that. The timing of white people using the N-word, I mean, it's been off limits for upwards of 12 years now. No, for many, many decades. So after that, all that happened, I feel like relatively close together. So I talked to Erica, and I told her I just need some time off. She was very receptive to that. I was very thankful for that. Because I felt like at that point, I felt like I hadn't been able to even do my job for a couple weeks. Like my job, like again, hired in was social media. And it evolved into doing some mixtapes. It evolved into blogging. It evolved into doing some like voiceover work did some for Dave. I did some for Pardon My Take. Did some for Caleb and Ron. It evolved into like helping run social for mixtape on Twitter and Instagram. Like it kept evolving into all these things, and all those things are online. And at a time like this, any downtime is pretty much online too, unless I'm gonna read a fucking book by candlelight. Yeah, Tom Sawyer or something. But yeah, I was like, I just needed a break. I just needed a break. So in the next, I don't know, day or two, that's when I started. I was like, I just need to take a Twitter break, which is not. It's a thing. I don't know how long people listening have been like interacting with me. Twitter breaks aren't really new to me. Like I've taken multiple breaks of multiple months. So this was really the first time I could do it since I had a job that required me to be online, and I left at the opportunity. So over the next, I think, day or two, that's when I see that it gets texted to me like, you should see what's going on Twitter. And I'm seeing the back and forth that Brandon and Dave are having. where he's saying, like if Brandon was there longer, his words would carry more weight. And tell him, if you don't like the way it is, quit. I'm paraphrasing. And that's when I remember thinking, like when he said the N-word for the Ja Rule video, multiple, like Ebony told him not to say it, Coley told him not to say it, PFT told him not to say it. And again, I'm not leaking anything. This is out there. And he did it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's 200 plus employees at Barstool right now. And I know I was number 34. And I know I was number 34 because I remember they gave us like jackets, like little hoodies with the number of what order we came in on the back. And I was 34, and that's 200 plus. And a lot of the 34 ahead of me have moved on. And so I think back, and I know PFT was there before I was. And he's like much bigger, much higher on the totem pole than I am. He told Dave not to say it. He didn't listen. Coley been with him since Milton. I don't know what number Coley was on that, like 6? I don't know. Didn't listen to him. Ebony is black and has been there longer than me. And he didn't listen. So, like immediately after saying, he'd have his black employees' backs, that's when he challenged Brandon to quit. And I mean, I get why he did it. That's how he feels. And I appreciate that he didn't apologize for anything he wasn't sorry for or lie. But it just led me to like really think that nothing was ultimately going to change. That was a Saturday, Sunday. So I'm still off. Tuesday, there's no mixtape. I get a call from Erica. She's not pressuring me to come back, but it is ads for the show, and the show must go on. I get it. Coley and I talk about it. Big Cat and I talk about it. I give my blessing to the extent that my blessing is needed. You know what I'm saying? The money must go on. I get it. So they do the show with KFC. I get texts from Coley and Big Cat before I even listen, which is usually a bad sign. It's usually a bad sign. So I go to Twitter and I see the response, which is another bad sign. And when I'm down really bad, when I really can't connect the dots, I get in the swamp, man. I go to Reddit, dude. I be on Reddit trying to figure out what was going on, and the response on Reddit there was also not great. And then I listened. And it was a lot of good perspective. And there was a lot of nice things said about me, which I really appreciate. And it was also a lot of, that's just who Dave is. And it's like, yeah, I know. That's kind of the point. Like, he's not going to change. And why would he? Honestly, like, it brought him all that he has now. So he's not going to change. And I really didn't think it was going to change if, three of the main guys whose opinion he respects and values says, he's not this. But it's when, like, if they're telling him to reconsider doing things and he doesn't listen, he doesn't want to change. And again, I see why he doesn't, but that's why I thought nothing would change, and that's why I felt that I should leave. And I mean, I can fully admit I'm not blameless here, because videos like stuff like this would come up in the past, and they weren't really directed towards me or offensive to me per se, so I said nothing. Because to one extent, it's like, well, I'm going to answer for what I didn't do. It didn't affect me. But to another extent, like nothing's going to change if it stay like if you just stay quiet because it doesn't affect you. Like we're not going to curb racism if the people that aren't affected stay quiet. We're not going to curb sexism or any ism if the people that aren't affected stay quiet. I knew, what kind of demographic they had when I started to work there. And I think I underestimated the depth of it because, again, it wasn't necessarily a site I was very familiar with. But again, I still chose to work there and continued to work there. And I'll wear that. People refuse to support and stop supporting, follow me, all that because of where I worked. I get it. And I really thought that was something I could help change. Like I remember telling Dave that I thought our jobs were essentially the same, to create value for this company. And again, you guys like houses, per earlier. It's like being inside of like a burning building. It's like I see some smoke and people outside are like, they're yelling like, man, get out, like get out of the house, man. That shit's about to collapse. And I'm like, I think I can put this out. It's like, I think I can put a towel over it. I couldn't put a towel over it. So I truly appreciate all the love on Twitter, the DMs, like the Instagram messages, comments, the Reddits, the mixtape Reddit and the Barstool Reddit, the tweets, the thread, all that going to bat for me. I appreciate that sincerely. I also say what I don't appreciate. Please don't at anybody from Barstool. No, like I've been added in people asking Erica, Dave, Coley, all that to answer about me leaving or about things they didn't do. This is my decision. This is not on them. I'm not interested. Like this isn't bad blood on my part or on my behalf. I can only speak on my behalf, but this isn't bad blood. I don't have bad blood with Dave or Erica. I told Coley the morning I was gonna resign. I called him and told him I was like, you my dog, like regardless. And I told him the decision I was making and why I felt I had to make it. And so like I remember there were a lot of people saying it's like you could go, you could do this anywhere, you don't have to stay. And I really appreciate your confidence in me. I don't have that kind of self-esteem. I never have. I've received like more emails just this past week about contributing to, like, I guess in research Barstool hit pieces than I had ever received any kind of interest from any company before or since I started. That's just a fact. Like it's one of those, like, it's plenty of fish in the sea, and I know that y'all see that and believe that, but it's like I know, but I don't see any fish. Like I'm not catching shit, man. But yeah, I didn't contribute to the hit pieces. Not now, nor will I in the future. I'm just not interested in that. I told like Dave and Erica the same. I know I'm going to be approached for them. I've already been approached for them multiple times by multiple companies I ain't even heard of. I got a message. He was like, "Hey man, I'm writing a story about why you left. Would love it if you could answer some questions." I'm like, so if I just don't respond, do you just not have a story? What are you writing? I didn't write that. I didn't follow up. I have seen a couple of the stories. I'll get to that later. But yeah, I told Dave and Erica, like, never will you hear me like slander or say a bad word about Barstool. Not on the record, not off the record, any of that. Anything I had to say, I feel like I said it like on their airwaves or podcasts, And again, I'm just not interested in that. I'm not interested in a war, any kind of beef with them or Dave or anybody there. Like, there are good people there doing good work. I wish them well. Maybe they will create the kind of change that we wanted to see. I sincerely hope so. But I felt like it was time for me to move on. And I hope this isn't seen as like me. I know it'll be the guy that I didn't respond to his message. He's going to, like, Withers compares Barstool to burning building as he leaves. That'll be what's taken from this. But no. I received a lot of those messages. I don't know what the fuck's coming hit pieces wise, but people are really going to write about this, and not a word of it is from me. I haven't read it, so I don't know if it's true or false. I don't know. I'm not going to read it. I'm not interested in it. Like I said, I'm just moving forward. It is what it is. And I will say a couple things that I've learned just in this entire process. And then I'll stop talking about this, like, forever. Promise. But boy, timing is something else, man. Because, man, when I seen that Trump interview come out, I was like, oh, brother. Whew. Oh, man. And then I think it's, in a sense, it's a shame. And I say that not ironically, not comedically. Because I think there are a lot of people that are now going to see that logo and think Trump. I think a lot that saw that logo for the first time or found out what it was for the first time are going to see that and think Trump. And that's a I don't know if that's the fan base I'd want to reach. And again, it feels like impossible. Not impossible. But tough. It feels harder to play like the common man when you're sitting next to literally the president. And it's like, okay, like, if you're not racist, why do the racists keep reaching out to talk to you? And it's like, if that wasn't ran by Big Cat, why the fuck would, like, anybody there listen to me or my feelings be considered? And again, maybe they shouldn't have been. I was a very, very, very small part of that. And with that, again, it just felt time to move on. But things that I've learned that, like, from mob mentality, cancel culture, I think people are terrified of shit they don't even really know about. Like, I don't know if they just like alliteration. Like, mob mentality, like, those things are real, sure. But boy, like, when you throw them around, when, like, if two people say something, it's not mob mentality. You know what I'm saying? If you say something, you're held accountable. I don't know. Is that cancel culture? Is that you being held accountable? I don't know. I learned that I think it's very funny that people like, I tweet so much that people think that when I stop, it's because I was, like, legally barred from it. Like, Whiskers clearly signed an NDA. He probably can't tweet until 2026 now. And I'm not making this up. This is stuff I've seen. Like, I didn't sign any NDA, any of that. I just took a break. Again, depending on how long you've been listening or following, reading, whatnot, I've taken multiple breaks. Like, this is kind of just par for the course. I learned that people think I did this as a publicity stunt, or to get people to kiss my ass. I mean, that's just not true. Like, respectfully, when you hit 100,000 followers, you don't really need to do anything for publicity. Like, you know what I'm saying? You think this is the publicity I want? Hey, that's the guy that quit his job in a pandemic. Oh man, follow. Yeah, like, I could retweet an old tweet of my own, get my ass kissed. I don't need to quit a job to do it. But, like, I've been on the on the Summer Jam screen before. I feel like from both sides before. Like from the Stooley side and the Black Twitter side. I'll say though, I don't think I've ever been on both screens at the same time. So that was new. It's like being like you have a lot less followers and you're on the Summer Jam screen. It's like you're getting booed out of a middle school gym. It's smaller. There are less people there physically, but it's a more intimate boo. In an NBA gym, you know what I'm saying? It just runs together as white noise. You know what I mean? It's words on a screen. It all blends together. But it was like, boy, oh boy. Like I just walk out of a door to a crowd. It's Stooley's. And they're like, boo. It's like, all right. And I turn around. And I walk to the Black Twitter side and I open it up and it's like, boo. It's like, all right. So that was different. That was a learning experience. But I remember, like I read a book a while ago. It was called Option B, and it was by some white lady. And one of the things that stuck with me from that book, she said, negative incidents are never personal, they're never pervasive, they're never permanent. And I had to take that to heart. Like people getting jokes off on me, it's not personal, it's not pervasive, it's not permanent. To the co-workers that said nice things about me, like I was retiring from the police force. It's talking about me like I put in 36 years. It was retiring from Seattle PD. No, I appreciate that. And I appreciate the people saying that I used Barstool to run up my followers, but also nobody knew who I was. Which it kind of feels like, which side of it is it? You know what I mean? I gotta say that if I realized if I was gonna put stock in words on a screen, I would have to look at the majority of them, right? And the majority of the words that people sent me were overwhelmingly positive. Overwhelmingly positive. Now the negative wasn't fun. Again, that was getting booed off both sides. Like that was the like if I was pussy if I kept my job, or excuse me, I was a coon if I kept my job, pussy if I left my job. So that was that was like being booed off both sides, and it was like, this isn't that bad. Like if you remember the Chappelle thing, like him saying the first time he did stand up, he didn't get booed off, but later he got booed off, and you remember thinking, like, this wasn't that bad. Like, it's not fun. I don't like this, but it's not that bad. And again, if I have to legitimately take any of the words to heart, it has to be the majority. And again, the majority was so positive, and it's I won't say I learned it, but something to keep in mind, something that I have to keep in mind, that it is very easy to lose sight of all the people that are rooting for you when you look at the ones that are rooting against you. And also any like just seeing a joke don't mean somebody rooting against you. Sometimes you just getting these jokes off. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Like, I'm thankful for that. Thankful for all that. I'm thankful for the support. I'm thankful for the criticism because it was valid. And again, I guess a weird way, I'm thankful for the jokes too, because they kept me humble, man. Like, I've been in this shit a long time, and again, it's something you know, but it never hurts to remember. It's like you're not exempt from being up on the screen, man. Everybody has their day. So the jokes kept me humble. I'm thankful for those too. So I'm thankful again for the people who wanted to support. I felt like they couldn't because of the platform I was on. I get it. just know that I'm here. I'm taking this next step because of faith, man. Like, you guys gave me a faith. The nice things that you said to and about me gave me a faith that I didn't have in me. You all said to step out, and y'all got me. And the outreach again, it's been tremendous. I started up the Twitch, Trilly Whiskers. If you are on Twitch, like, look, I'll say this. Listen, your boy is close to partner. Your boy is real close to Twitch partner. And I'm still learning what all these words mean, but I know partner is the top level, and I'm close. So Twitch, Trilly Whiskers, if you are so inclined. If you have Amazon Prime, I also learned it comes with a free Twitch thing. Yeah. So you could just use your grandma's Amazon Prime, throw Trilly Whiskers, and subscribe and help the cause. Venmo, Cash App, Tyler I Am. Just putting those out there. Again, so many people at Whiskers, let us pay your rent. Let us put new shoes on your feet. Let us put a fur on your back. I said, okay. I said the Venmo and the Cash App, they're open. Tyler I Am. And I'm starting this Patreon. This will be, again, a place where I can just get some of this random shit off my chest in podcast form. I've learned that being off Twitter feels really good. Like, it's not to say that I won't still be there, but I guess in different forms. Like, I'm gonna be putting my energy into the Twitch. Like, Twitch has been great. Just learning that shit's been great. Just learning what the hell Patreon is and what it does. I'm interested how this is gonna work out. But yeah, probably some random blogs. I will throw in some, like, it'll be listed in the tiers. But I wanted to put all that, the work, unfun stuff part first, so we could talk a little shit on the back end. And again, I hope to never really speak about it again. I'm just not interested. No beef. There was no. I'm just howling at me, getting a lawyer to be like, "Come on, you gotta let me tweet about it." And they're like, "Whiskers, you signed the NDA." But no. Yeah, let's talk a little shit about what's been going on. You guys have seen things. Y'all seen some things that's been going on. No, wait, hold on. I got one more thing. I'm thankful for my parents because they never stopped parenting me. Like, not as a kid, not as an adult, not as an old ass man as I am now through all this. They never stopped parenting me, and I'm thankful for that in them. Just they were willing to be the angel and devil on each shoulder. That was like, is quitting your job during a literal pandemic the best move, son? And listen, it was a good question. It was a great question. But no, I'm thankful for that and for them. But I gotta say, being offline, it's like I will get a random text. It's like, "Man, did you see the bad news?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. A running back got paid. That's awful." My friend was like, "Nah, Meg Thee Stallion got shot." And I said, "What the fuck did you say to me?" Twice. She got shot twice. And I said, "What?" So it's just wild, like, what being off the internet does to, like, your just scale of, I guess, surprise. And I say that not to make light of Meg's situation at all. I've seen that, and that's not cool. We don't know the details. Even if we do, it sounds like she got shot twice. Like, I think if she got shot somewhere else, people would have, maybe they viewed it more serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's wrong and dumb to think that, but I don't know if that's what people are thinking. But yeah, I'm just hoping she gets well physically and mentally. Going through this shit got to be a hassle, man. Again, in a literal pandemic, dog. I don't want anybody to forget that. I also got to say, when what time I came back to Twitter, because I had an alert from Twitter, and it said, "You're getting a lot of notifications." Not like the normal, like 20 plus. You used to see 20 plus and be like, "Oh boy, I either got some good news or some bad news waiting for me." It just said, "You're getting a lot of notifications," and I had to hit OK to acknowledge that I was indeed getting a lot of notifications. And I think it's wild that the two biggest individual jumps in followers I've ever had. Number two was the first time I was on video at Barstool. It was the first time I was on the rundown. I think it was me, Dave, and Big Cat talking about Beyonce. I think that was the first time. That was my second biggest jump in followers. First biggest jump in followers, me quitting my job. I don't like I sent the tweet resigning and came back to. I was like, wait a minute, like this. I don't know how to feel about this. Where the fuck y'all was at? But yeah, something else I learned when I was offline. Did you all know that Dak Prescott has a brother named Tad? Did you look that up? That's just something interesting to me. That Dak Prescott and Tad Prescott are brothers. Just file that away. Trying to think what else been going on, man. John Lewis passed. I know that's old by now, but it just been on my mind. Like, just how many of his friends has he seen killed? You know what I'm saying? Like, he helped organize and speak at the March on Washington at 23, man. Like 23. And it was pictures of him like out in these streets last month at 80. And it shows like it's just a lifetime fight, man. And it was progress made in his lifetime, but the fight, like, it's not anywhere close to being over. And I catch myself being so discouraged, getting so discouraged over Breonna Taylor and what's going on. And it's like, I've made the calls and I've gotten the runaround and I've sent the emails and I've got the automatic replies and I've talked about it in real life conversation and I've signed the petition, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's disheartening. It is. And I get, not even to be really like too heavy, but if John Lewis was legit, like, dog, it's been weeks and we still can't vote, bro. Like, this is bullshit. Nothing gets accomplished. So every time I think about that, I try to do something. I try to give to a fund. I try to sign a petition, a non-change.org petition. Sound like they might be, I don't know, moving funny. Send an email, something. And I would encourage you to do the same for Breonna Taylor, or for a person, for a cause that is close to you, your hometown, whatever. Because again, this is a lifetime fight, man. And the fight looks a lot of different ways. You just got to find the way that you can contribute, whatever it is. If it's financially, if it's being on the front lines, if it's watching the kids of people on the front lines, if it's you going into the political side of things, like whatever it is, this shit is going to take all of us. And as John Lewis showed, it's going to be a lifetime fight. So I did want to say that it won't all be as heavy like that. I ain't got a whole bunch more to say. Yeah, what the fuck is going on with Terry Crews, man? I feel like I'm legit, like I'm getting out of a coma, or like I'm getting out of jail and just seeing things. And it's like Will and Jada together. Oh man, you know that'll never work. And it's like, no, they're actually working a little too well. Some would say. But I seen Terry the other day. He put out that acronym. They said something. Co-opting our own negativity. I don't know something, but the word, the letters spelled out. Countering our own negativity. I think that's what it was. Countering our own negativity. And I was like, Terry, no. No. Hey, Terry Crews, don't do that. They're not going to take it away. You. Oh, boy. I hate that guy won't stop tweeting. He just will not stop saying things, and the things just get worse and worse. My Lord. I just wrote down random shit, so I'm really trying to see what the fuck else. Oh yeah, no. I'd searched. I was trying to find a picture of my old Abby, one of my many old Abbies, to make it into an emoticon on Twitch because I am a hip youth. And so I searched for my Twitter name. I feel like anytime I've seen Google Images, it basically has like whatever, like Abby you had at the time for something. So I went to that, and I see multiple articles about why I left my job. And the funny thing about these articles was that I did not write these articles. I thought that was peculiar. I was looking for like a picture of Abby me, and I see a picture of like me, nigga, like actual me, like me, not meme, me. Know what I mean? See, this is the bullshit you have to endure when I go less structured. You have to just deal with the bullshit. But you signed up for this. You can unsign up at any time, but it charges you at the first of every month. So I've got your ass until August 30th. 31st. I got your ass till September 1st. No. Yeah, the last thing I really wanted to say, basketball is back, man. I gotta say, I wasn't really that hype for it. Like I didn't watch any of the preseason shit. I didn't watch a dribble of a ball. I didn't watch a stitch of baseball. By the time y'all hear this, baseball might be dead. We might talk about that next week. How baseball died. I just couldn't get up for it, man. Like I knew ultimately I would because I am interested to see if they can complete the bubble and who wins the championship. But boy, it was just, it's been so disheartening to see how a lot of these owners have acted just during pandemic, man. It's just really disheartening, and to go out and see like, oh, that's the team that was laying people off while they was approving construction, and now they premiering some new fly shit at the stadium. That's interesting. But like a hypocrite, I watched last night, and I gotta say, I think the Lakers are still winning it all, guys. I think they're still winning it all. Just from Lakers Clippers, like the thing I said it last night. I think in any NBA series, playoff series, Jeff Van Gundy. Yeah, what the hell? They got basketball going on right now? Yeah, see, again, this is what happens with the bullshit. You just get me reacting live to things. But in any series, it's the reason I picked them all year. They are going to have two of the three best players in the series, if not the two best two. if not the two best two. Like that's when I saw that shocking news because I wanted to pull up like what series would they not have the two best two? Like their player right now, Grizzlies. They got the best two. Second round, Jazz or Thunder. They've got the best two players of either of those. Next, it would be Nuggets or Clippers. Nuggets. It depends on how you feel about Jokic. It's all on how you feel about Jokic. If you think he's better than AD or LeBron, then he's up there. I would have him third of those three. But if you want to say he's in there, again, Lakers still have two of the best three. Clippers, same thing. And the reason I'm talking about this, I said it last night on Twitter. I didn't think it was a take, really. Like, of a Lakers-Clippers series, over the course of 7 games, I think LeBron James would be the best player in that series. Personally. I think Kawhi is right after him, and if you have Kawhi 1, I completely understand. Because that guy, he's basically still the reigning heavyweight champ. Like, as finals MVP, he's basically still the reigning heavyweight champ. Braun lost his title. He went to jail for some parking tickets or something. That was when he tore his hamstring. And now he's back to defend his title. But I've still got him 1. I would have Kawhi 2. I said 83. And then this is where I got a little pushback. I said I think there's a gap between AD and Paul George. Not a huge gap, but a gap. And then I think there's a gap between Paul George and the rest of the team. The rest of both teams, really. The rest of the role players. You go to the East. Bucks. If you want to say Giannis is the best player, I'm fine with that. But Lakers have comfortably the next 2 and 3, and then it's a gap. I feel like same for the Raptors, Celtics. And I think the reason it matters is because like the Clippers have a much deeper team than the Lakers. But I just feel like we see time and time again the depth just matters less in the playoff. Like over the course of a long run, you need the depth because somebody's going to turn an ankle, somebody's going to foul out, somebody's going to go ice cold. But only way Lakers, Clippers, or the most likely way they'll face each other this year is conference finals, being the third round. And so in this individual series, when your best play, when LeBron James and Anthony Davis are playing 40, 42, 44 minutes a game, like the crunches of time, I think that depth just matters a little bit less. And it's a thing where it's like the Clippers are like 12 deep, right? But it's your playoff rotation is going to be like consistently, 7, 8 maybe? Like I'm looking now. I think it'll be Beverly, 1, Paul George, 2, Kawhi, 3, Morris, 4, Lou Will, 5, Harrell, 6, and probably Zubac, 7. And then they still got Reggie Jackson, Shamit, JaMychal Green, Patrick Patterson, and Joakim Noah looked all right last night. But I think we'll see one. Like, I like Zubac, but he can be played off the court. Like, we saw it last year from the Warriors. I can't remember. Was KD healthy that first round? And it's like, yeah, it's the Warriors, but it just shows, like, as good as he's been and as much as he has improved, if you're counting on him to be one of your, like, you're counting on him defending Anthony Davis and going against JaVale and Dwight for like 30-plus minutes, because, again, you cut in the rotation, he's going to have to play a lot. And the reason I would have Lakers over Clippers, I think, is because between, like, Zubac and Harrell, I know they've done a great job defending the paint this year. Like, as a whole, I know they're really good. I think they were at or around number 1 as a team. And it's like, I get that. It's a different thing when you're playing against, like, a team with, like, being big is their strength. Right? Like, being big is their strength. If you can play Zubac make him move his feet if LeBron just picks on him every single time. Right. And then they get Harrell in there. And Harrell's been great, but if you're going to say he's going to be the defensive anchor to go against JaVale and Dwight and Aid, like all these guys that are taller than him over the course of 7 games, I think the offensive rebounds that go out and get the Lakers another possession, I think those add up. I think it's a thing you see, like if last night's any indication, Kawhi and Paul George played, I'm trying to get the box score to get it exactly, they played better games than LeBron, right? Yeah, PG finished with 30 on 17 shots, and there was a point where, I saw he just could not stop making threes. He was a +0, so per the numbers, he should have kept his ass at home. Kawhi was a +16 in 33 minutes. He had 28 points. 80 had a great game. He got to the line. 80 had 34, but LeBron was 6 for 19, 16, 11, and 7. I do think he played a really good game defensively to his credit, but he got to the line 2 times. Just not a good offensive game for LeBron. And, like, admittedly, Clippers didn't have Harrell and Lou Will, but I gotta say, like, I don't know how much clock he'll get. JaMychal Green looked pretty good yesterday, man. Like, JaMychal Green looked like if he gonna keep hitting a couple threes, I think there was a couple times Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris did Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris things. So, like, if you're gonna cut those guys out of your rotation, again, Zubac played 15 minutes last night, just without Harrell. So I get you're getting everybody some run, but if he's playing 15 minutes, and on the flip side, like the Lakers missing some people too. I don't know how much Rondo will be out. I think Avery Bradley's gonna hurt just in terms of it just cuts the margin that much thinner. Like losing 2 rotation players, that hurts. Losing home court because this shit is in the bubble, that hurts. But if Caruso and Kuzma gonna keep locking up like I said Scottie Pippen and Gary Payton, I might have been selling them short, man. And then Kuzma came down and was just hitting threes just willy-nilly. I mean, if that's gonna keep going on, but I say that to say, like, if LeBron was comfortably 4th of those guys all game, and then at the very end, on both ends of the court, he showed he was like the best. Like on both. That's why it's somebody told me that, like, the Lakers got bailed out by a clutch LeBron play. I was like, yeah, if he starts doing that a lot, yeah, no, the league is fucked. If he gets that crunch time thing down, he's in trouble. But I think when the Clippers come back, or when they get everybody healthy, come back, I really think it's going to be a thing where, okay, if Zubac is in, we're going after Zubac. If Lou Will is in, we're going after Lou Will until you take him out. Like, I don't know if it's personal. I feel like LeBron takes a little pleasure in hunting Lou Will. And at that point, it's going to be, okay, like, again, we've got more depth, but, okay, who are we going to? Like, Patrick Beverly will probably be out there. He's fine. But he's the guy, if I'm the Lakers, he's the guy over the course of a 7-game series, he's the one that's like, okay, we're just going to leave him alone. Like, we'll leave him alone. He'll have to take 10 threes a game and hit 40% of 10 threes a game for all 7 games. Like, just as a strategy, we're locking in on Kawhi and Paul George. We're going to play Lou Will off the court. And we're going to, like, they've got so many arms, so many long arms to throw at Harrell. And it's like, okay, Patrick Beverly, you were a good shooter. I think he's high 30s, but he doesn't take a lot of them. 38% on 4 games. It's like, okay, 3rd round of the playoffs, you're going to be tired from 3 rounds of defending and being a pest and getting 40 points put on your head. We're leaving you wide open every single time. Every single time. You're going to have to defend like hell on the other end, too. because we getting Lou Will out of there. We running him through the pick and roll like fucking washer and dryer. Paul George in a playoff. The reason I say it's a little gap between AD and Paul George, man, you don't know what kind of playoff P you getting. You just don't know. Again, he looked great last night. He hit all them threes, and then at the end, LeBron was like, "Nah, man, please take the game winner." He took it, but I don't think he felt that good about it. But I will say, like the Lakers, not a perfect team at all. Like again, it took big games from like Waiters contributing at all was just tremendous. But yeah, is Kuzma gonna hit that many threes and lock up like that? There's some variables on both sides. Just over the course of a 7-game series, I feel like it usually goes to who's got the best player, and now it's like they've got the best, like 2 out of 3. And I will say the Lakers have a much thinner margin for error. Like the Lakers' depth is like they again knock on wood. Like they got to get. I know Marcus Morris didn't play a lot last night. JR will probably play a little bit more. But yeah, they're razor thin. The Clippers are more designed for 4 rounds. I would say like they've got more. It's like okay, if Beverly's out, we got some Jackson and Shamet. They can plug like Rodney Magruder in there. So they've definitely, got their advantages there. But I picked Lakers beginning of the season. I'm gonna stick with it. I do think losing home court benefits Clippers, but any team not the Lakers. I think the Lakers were helped out there. I don't think the Bucks really care. I think the Bucks are coming out of the East. I don't feel as good about Lakers winning it all as I did beginning of the season, but what the hey, I'll stick with them. Right now we got Phoenix, Washington going on. I didn't know this game was going on. But they're winning. Devin Booker's got 20. It's interesting. It was Boston, Milwaukee tonight. That should be a solid basketball game. Houston, Dallas. That may be a fun basketball game. This should look like Summer League, man. I got to say, the bubble, it's like Summer League with just much better players. The white noise is, again, it's just all white noise in that much of an arena. The best player thing. Yeah, again, no structure. I may regret going no structure. There are a couple more teams. Like, somebody said the Rockets could make a case that Harden's better than AD, so they would have the second best or the best player in the league, or excuse me, in the series. But even then, I think the gap between 2 and 3 and Russ, respectfully, is so big. Same for Embiid. I know last year I saw a lot of Embiid over AD. Not so much this year. But if you still think that and think Embiid's the best player in the series or better than AD, okay, but the Lakers still have 2 of 3. And again, that gap to Simmons or easy Al Horford, whoever you think is the next best player, feels so big. And I don't know. We'll see if the Lakers... I think again, their margins are so thin. Like, I think their closing lineup is going to be AD, Bron, Caldwell Pope, Danny Green, and whoever. Caruso. I would go Caruso without Bradley. I would give him the first crack at the minutes. And then, they can go Kuzma, whatever, if they need it. And I think that'll be like when things slow down, and it's like, okay, everybody here knows exactly what they're supposed to be doing. They don't have as much, I don't want to say variance, right? Like, you'll have some random games, but it's not like the Lakers role players are going to carry them. They know exactly what's going to carry them. I think they're going to slow the hell out of it down. I think they've still got the, like, trump card that when they go 80 at the center. I think that's going to be a pretty big trump card if it'll be like 80 against a, like, Harrell. Or 80 against a I don't even know, Brooke Lopez or whatever, just like whatever that matchup looks like. So I'm sticking with Lakers. I might have to reevaluate my All NBA teams. We'll see. Um, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about next week. We'll see. Hopefully, enough of you enjoy listening to this enough to the point where there is a next week. If not, we'll just delete this and act like it never ever happened. I'm fine with that. I hope you guys are staying safe out there, washing your hands, wearing your mask. Please take this shit seriously. I hope you're still fighting for the things we were all talking about. Again, I would encourage you, anytime you catch yourself thinking about it, do something for Breonna Taylor. Do something for. I hate that the number is so big and they're still coming in. Do something for, something in your hometown. Because again, this fight's going to take a long time, and it's going to take all of us contributing in all the ways that we can. So try not to lose sight of that. I know it's something I lose sight of. And shit, I will catch y'all next week.